Previously on Undercover.
Antonino Vitale was the head of the Marino family.
I've been hearing good things about you. There's just one problem. You're a rat.
What could I say? He was right. I've been undercover for almost 13 months.
I'm actually here to make you a deal.
He wants you to do what?
Investigate a murder. If you want the truth, I'll get it. But I'm gonna need some latitude.
There's one catch, though.
What's that?
You're gonna have to murder someone.
And if I made a high-profile hit, then...
Exactly.
But who?
Mr. Volokov. It's nice to finally meet you.
I sighed heavily as I watched Volokov tumble off the ledge and into the icy water below. The deed was done, and I had my in. After an unproductive year undercover with the Marino family in South Chicago, things had suddenly progressed rather quickly. In just a matter of days, I had been outed as an FBI agent by the current head of the family, Nino Vitale, and most recently, had been forced to commit my first murder in order to get myself promoted to his consigliere. As I said, it had been a busy couple of days. But it certainly wasn't time to relax yet. There was much more work to do if I was going to find Luigi's killer. The real one, not the Russian mobster Nino was claiming did it. But first, I had a few final details relating to Volokov's murder to handle back at the FBI's Chicago office.
John, good work out there last night.
Thanks. Did you pick up Volokov all right?
Yep, the divers were in place and grabbed him just as he hit the water.
Perfect.
Nice shot, by the way. Those rubber bullets don't always fly true.
Well, I wasn't too far away, and a little luck always helps.
He's in interrogation room 3 if you want to talk to him.
Nah, I'll let you guys handle it.
That's probably best. He's not too happy with you anyway. Doc says the bullet broke a rib.
He'll get over it.
We don't really need a confession from him anyway. Those pictures you got from Nino should be enough to put him away for a long time.
Glad to hear it.
So, what's the next step?
Now I start the search for Luigi's killer. The clock's ticking.
Alright. Well, keep me in the loop.
Will do. With Nino's deadline of only 2 weeks to solve Luigi's murder, I didn't have time to duplicate any work, and since CPD was already investigating the death, I figured my best course of action was to check in with them first. The lead on the case was a husky woman named Sandra Johnson. She'd only recently made detective and our paths hadn't crossed yet, but I'd heard that she had a reputation for butting heads with the brass. Detective Johnson?
Yeah?
I'm Agent Castelletti, FBI.
And how can I help the FBI today?
We're interested in one of your cases.
Let me guess. The alleged mobster, Luigi Vitale.
Bingo.
Well, I don't know how much help I can be. All we've really got so far is some useless prints.
Prints? From where?
The bullet.
Really? I had our killer pegged as more of a professional, but then he leaves his print on the bullet?
Or he didn't care because he knew we wouldn't get a hit.
What do you mean?
We got a nice, clear print, but when we ran it through APHIS, nothing came up.
So, he's never been arrested before?
And his prints haven't shown up at any other crime scenes.
Do you have any leads?
Well, I just got the ballistics back on the bullet this morning, and we did get a match there.
To what?
A homicide. Out in Boston a couple years ago.
Boston?
Yeah. I requested the file from Boston PD, but it'll take a couple days to get here.
All right. Well, let me know what you find out, will you?
Sure thing. And you will, of course, do the same?
Of course. Here's my card. Oh, why don't you send that print over to our lab? We might be able to run it through some other databases.
Sure, go crazy. I could use the help.
I said goodbye to Sandra and sped across town for a meeting with Nino at Donatelli's, a little hole-in-the-wall Italian joint. The meeting had been scheduled at Nino's request, and I was beginning to notice a pattern, and wondered if there was a reason that we always met in restaurants, or if Nino just really liked to eat. I arrived early and chatted up one of Nino's bodyguards while he was in the John. So, Bobby, what's your take on Luigi's murder?
It is what it is.
You don't seem too broke up about it.
My line of work, you get used to it. Besides, Luigi was a good guy.
Sure. He always seemed to be well-liked.
No, I mean a good guy, like he wanted out.
Really?
I probably shouldn't be saying nothing.
Hey, don't worry, my lips are sealed.
Well, rumor I heard he was talking with the feds.
So you think someone in the family might have killed him to keep him from talking?
No way. Nobody be dumb enough to do that. Killing Nino's brother without permission? Might as well just do yourself right there, too.
Yeah, I see your point.
Santo, thanks for joining me. I hope you're hungry. This place makes the best muffaletta.
Sounds great.
Come. I got us a table in the back. So, Santo, how goes the search?
Well, I just started my investigation.
Yeah, and what a couple of days it's been.
I suppose.
I was very impressed with the way you handled the Russian.
I did what had to be done.
Indeed.
Scusate, vuoi un goccio di vino?
You have raw namarone.
Buona scorta.
Grazie. So I thought you feds were supposed to be the best at this type of stuff.
Well, it's a process. I'm pursuing leads.
What leads?
Well, for example, we recovered a print from the shell casing.
And?
Haven't got a hit yet, but the ballistics match an old case in Boston.
Boston?
Yeah, a homicide a couple years back. You know anything about that?
Hey, I don't know nothing about any homicides.
Really, Nino? I thought we were past pretending we don't know who each other are.
Ah, so that's why you pretended to kill Volokov.
What?
Come on, give me a little credit. Do you really expect me to believe that a federal agent just drove across town and executed a Russian gangster?
I guess not.
Why do you think I gave you those pictures? I knew you could arrest him.
All right, fine. So did any of your men perform a hit in Boston 2 years ago?
My men? Why are you looking at us? None of my people were behind that.
How can you be so sure?
Because everyone loved Luigi. And besides, they know better than to make such a move. They'd be signing their own death warrant.
So I've heard.
It's gotta be Giuliani.
Giuliani? You mean like Mayor Giuliani in New York?
No, Roberto Giuliani. He runs things out there. Though he does happen to be Rudy's second cousin by marriage.
So, why would Giuliani have come after Luigi?
It's a long story, and one I don't plan on getting into with a Fed. But let's just say we haven't gotten along in a while.
Well, so far I can't say for sure it was them. For all we know, the killer purposely made it look like it was them.
Maybe.
So I thought tomorrow I'd...
Nope, you're busy tomorrow.
What?
There's a commission meeting out in New York.
New York?
Yeah, upstate. You're coming with.
Are you sure that's such a good idea?
Of course it is. My consigliere's expected to attend. And Giuliani will be there, so it'll give you a chance to do some digging.
All right. Sounds like fun. Already I was proving to be right. After only a couple of days with Nino, I was learning things about the relationships between the families. And no undercover agent had ever been to a commission meeting before. On the murder investigation side of things, though, I was beginning to wonder if I should really be helping Nino. There was a very real chance that one of his own men was behind the assassination, and I knew what would happen to him if I turned over his name. I decided I would not reveal the killer's identity if I discovered it. Maybe I'd make an anonymous call to Officer Johnson instead and let her take the man down. But first, I needed some information to give.
Undercover, presented by Strobie Studios, is written and directed by Scott Strosahl, and features the talented voices of Greg Kilberger, Cody Burk, Michael Helgens, Steve Rimpici, and Scott Strosahl, and music by Kevin MacLeod. Join us next week as the mystery continues, and Santa gets an unexpected visit while attending the commission meeting in upstate New York. Until then, stay safe, and have a good night.
The meeting would be scheduled. The meeting.
Muffaletta. It's an Italian bread.
What's muffaletta?
It's an Italian bread. I googled
Muffaletta for
it. I googled a
you.
lot of information
Muffaletta.
for this
Hey.
episode.
You put a little sauce on the muffaletta. You get a muffaletta sauce.
I'm not an accent guy. I'm more of a record people doing accents guy.
I decided I would not reveal the killer's identity if I discovered it. Maybe I'd make an anonymous. Anonymous.
Phenomena.
Do-do-do-do-do. I'm Agent. I've never said my last name before.
Castelletti.
Castelletti.
Wait, oh yeah, you're right, because Salvo is your made up name.
That's what I said. I've only said that name.
I was like, I'm sure that wasn't the line that I wrote.
Good instinct.